Welcome, everybody. Testing. Okay. I did that wrong. It's okay. Oh, we're good. All right, guys. We'll get started with Ask Me Anything. Go ahead and start popping your questions in the chat, and I'll take whatever questions you have. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We're doing Ask Me Anything. That means you can actually ask any question at all, and then I'm going to take your questions. I'm going to start scrolling and seeing. Some of y'all know what we do, so I know there are going to be some questions in here. Oh, thank you for the gift, Noel. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're doing Ask Me Anything. So that means you can pop your questions in the chat and I'll take your questions. Let's see what you guys got going on. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope it's like dry wherever you are because it's raining cats, dogs, chickens, mice outside. It's a struggle over here on the weekend. Thank goodness I really wasn't going to go anywhere except for the gym. Although this is why one should not like go to the gym really late and make it the last thing of your day, because you see how I perfectly plan on going to the gym, but because of that weather, there's no gym going to be happening. Because I was just like, you know what? I could go in the weather, but 2 nights ago I drove home in this weather and it was so scary. It's only 5 minutes away, but it was so scary. It was just like no visibility. I mean, chickens and mice flying out the sky kind of weather. It was crazy. So yeah. Anyways, we're doing Ask Me Anything, so that means you guys can go ahead and start popping the questions in the chat. Popping the questions in the chat. Pop, 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 pop. And I'll answer your questions. So you guys know how it works. I'll take any spiritual questions you have because I went to seminary school. I'll take your health questions because I'm a registered nurse. But you can also ask me personal questions. You can ask me for advice. It's your chance to ask me anything. So that's what it's all about. So you go ahead and everybody get cozy and start asking your questions. Go ahead and fill up the chat with your questions, and then we will take it from there. Let's go. Let's see what y'all got. It's gonna be a little waiting for YouTube to hop up in here because that one kind of starts a little bit slower than TikTok. So go ahead and everybody start popping your questions in the chat, and then I will take your questions. Let's see how it goes, y'all. Let's see how it goes. Come over here and actually do this as well. Welcome, 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 everybody. Gonna see if I can switch this. Let's see what kind of questions you guys have so far. And maybe my see if my stream is actually working here. 4K. Yes, it is. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started with Ask Me Anything. You guys know what that's all about. It means you can actually ask me anything. So everybody start popping your questions in the chat. Everybody hop on in here. Hop on in. It is time to get started. Everybody hop on in here. We're going to be doing Ask Me Anything. So let's go. I'm going to take all your questions. I got my first questions coming in from TikTok. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. We're doing Ask Me Anything. So everybody hop on in here. Look at this weather, y'all. It's about to be lightning, crazy stuff outside. So we're in the house, quietly in the house, relaxing. But guys, while I'm relaxing, hop on in here, pop all your questions in the chat. Everybody flood the chat with your questions. You can ask literally anything in the whole wide world, and I'll answer your questions. So we're definitely doing health questions, spiritual questions, any question. It could be the most random thing ever. You don't have to clean it up. If there's a lady that you in your life that you want to know about, pop it in the chat. If you want to know generally about the ladies, pop it in the chat. It could just be the most random things ever. So that's what we're here for. So I get my first question from TikTok. So TikTok's got my first question. Everybody, you guys know how it goes. If you want it to be fun, keep on just flooding the chat because I'm going to do one question after the next, after the next, after the next. The better the questions, the better the segment. So, first question is from TikTok. I see a question on TikTok that says, "Where am I from?" I'm from the good old state of Louisiana. I'm actually originally from New Orleans, currently live in Atlanta, and I think I need about, I'm going to say the end of the summer, I'm going to move, and I'm going to move back to Dallas, I think. So, but this is my house right now. But maybe in a few months, I'll have a new place to go live from. You guys will see a whole nother cute little place. So, yep, that's the deal. Go ahead and pop your questions in the chat. We're doing Ask Me Anything, which basically means you can ask me anything, literally anything at all, and I'll take your questions. So go ahead, pop your questions in the chat. I will take your questions. Ask me anything at all. Let me scroll back and see what other questions we have in the chat. Let me know, guys, over here on YouTube. Go ahead and ask me anything. So, guys, so we did a whole segment on divorce last night. Let me know if you guys watched that segment on divorce because it was on and popping on YouTube last night. Thank you for the gift badge, JJ. Thank you. And I see another question in the chat. I'm going to take another question from TikTok next. But yeah, I did a segment last night on divorce. It was absolutely phenomenal. I gave out my personal pearls of wisdom. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to hop on over to Victory Life Podcast 7603 on YouTube and check out that video from last night. It's actually very good. All right, so I got my first question. My second question, I'm sorry, comes from TikTok. What am I currently doubting in my life? Wow, that's such a good question. Ooh, JJ's going hard. See, as soon as we start, all we need is one person who starts popping the questions in the chat and then it blows up. All right, what am I doubting right now? Wow, what am I doubting? I am like a little bit, I've been dancing around the move to Dallas. I used to live in Dallas for a couple of years. And when I lived in Dallas, I didn't miss Atlanta at all. So I lived there for 2 years. And for some reason, I just didn't miss Atlanta. And then I would come back to Atlanta every couple of months and I would check it out. And it was fine, you know. It's like it's weird because I would come back to Atlanta and I would feel comfortable here and then I would enjoy my friends. I'd feel comfortable here and it was all good. But then it, like strangely enough, it's like when I left and went back to Dallas, I didn't even think about Atlanta. And I thought that was such a weird situation to be in, to like leave, like love it when I was here, and then leave and not even think about it. So, so it's weird because when I first came back to Atlanta, which was about a year ago, I don't know, y'all. It was weird. I felt like I was having it was such a fight for me to stay. And I didn't think I was going to make it here. And it was weird. It was just weird because I was like, I didn't realize how I had gotten so attached to Dallas. So, over some time, I got just busy with my schoolwork and adjusted, and I was fine, quietly here, fine. But now I've been feeling a pull to go back to Dallas, and it's just another big change, if that makes any sense. But I've been pondering it a lot. I've talked to a few people about it, and there's something about it that I just feel like if I feel differently this time around, then I don't have to be married to it. Like I could just be back in Atlanta again, or I could be back wherever else I want to be. I could move to Florida or something. So part of me is like, I feel like this time it's gonna be a permanent move, not like a temporary move. So yeah, it's difficult for some reason. I've got, it's not doubts that I would love it. It's doubts that it would be permanent. Does that make sense? And I don't really like switching things unnecessarily, switching. But the thought that it might be permanent is kind of a big deal. So, and the thought that it's not permanent is kind of a big deal because, you know, moving and then moving again is not really like, that's not really super fun. That's kind of, I'll be doing it all by myself, so that's not fun, right? So if there's somebody who's going to be picking up boxes and doing all that stuff for you, then that's one thing. But if you got to do it all by yourself, that's not fun. So, you know, I'm doubting that, like not doubting it to the extent that I'm probably not going to do it. I probably am going to do it, but just wrapping myself around the exact timeline, like the exact commitment, all of that. Yeah, last time I was in Dallas, I spent a lot of time with family. This time, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time. I think a lot more time exploring. I didn't feel like I don't feel like I explored it enough last time, and this time I really want. I was in school, so I was just like in a book all day. But I loved it. For some reason, I felt connected to it, and I don't feel connected to Atlanta, and I cannot fully explain why the second time around I just do not have that. I don't have that connection to Atlanta. I mean, the reality is, I could like go out right now. I could go out right now. Atlanta has amazing nightlife. Um, I'm just not committed to Atlanta, and I felt progressively like the last 8 months more and more of that, and now I feel like almost a sense of urgency to like get it done. So I don't know. That's these are like new feelings for me. So I have like a little bit of angst, a little bit of doubt, um, and just pulling it all together. So that's somebody asked me the question and asked me anything. Someone asked me, you know, what am I most doubtful about? And I am doubtful about the move. I'm doubtful that if I don't do it, like I'm missing out on something, because there is a pull there. Um, and I'm also thinking like, what would have happened if I would have made this kind of a move 10 years ago? My life could have been very different. So I've been reflecting on that a lot. And then I've been talking to elderly people recently, and these elderly people are all in a space where they're doing like a life review, from what I can see. And the elderly people are like looking back on life, and they're having like these different regrets and these different, like where they had these pathways to do their hopes and dreams, and then they just didn't take the chance, and then it kind of like fell short. And like these are old people that are like reflecting and kind of like, I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that. Like now I'm here and I'm too old to do this, and I'm too old, like physically they can't do it anymore. So I'm like, oof, like that's been weighing on me a lot, if that makes any sense. Like talking to old people, y'all, like try if you can, if you have access to some old people in your life, I highly recommend just listening to them, because do you guys see that weather? It's horrible. I highly recommend just listening to the older people, because there's something about the older people, like they're just they're just like us, y'all. They're just 10 years ahead, or 20 years ahead, or 30 years ahead of us, or 50 years ahead. Like they're just like us. So I think there's something interesting about, you know, there's something interesting about it. Listening to where they are, what they wish they would have done, what's difficult to do now, and then I'm sitting in my own life like with all the opportunities still at my fingertips. So that's what I've been dealing with. So continue to pop your questions in the chat. We're doing Ask Me Anything, so that literally means literally means you can ask me anything. To think I almost went out in the weather. I almost went out to go to the gym, but then I was like, meh. I had like a really big adventure driving home from the gym 2 nights ago, and I'm like not up for another one of those. So Let's see what we got, guys. Let's see what we got. Let's see what kind of. Ooh, someone said, "Am I coming to California?" I love California. I love California. I have spent. Gosh, I've been to California so many times. L.A. and I think I've been to L.A., San Francisco, and San Diego. But I love California. I've been known to go to California when the weather gets bad in Atlanta. So that's what I would say. I will slip up, go to California, enjoy myself, enjoy some good weather, come on back. So when we get like double digits in Atlanta, like in the teens with weather, I hop out of here and I go to California. So I've been known to do that. The only thing is when you come back and the weather's still bad, that's not the plan. You want to be able to stay gone long enough to come back and then the weather's improved. But anywho, we're doing Ask Me Anything. So everyone, go ahead and pop your questions in the chat. Pop your questions in the chat. Pop your questions in the chat. I will take your questions. Go ahead and ask me anything, guys. Let me know. Let me know if you guys have questions. It's time for Ask Me Anything. So go ahead and let me know. If you got a question like that you wish you could ask a female, pop that in the chat. It doesn't have to be specifically for me. It could be like, I wonder this, or I wish I knew that. Like any question at all. Pop it in the chat so I can take your question. We're doing Ask Me Anything, which means I will answer any question you put in the chat. It doesn't have to be on a specific topic. It could be about me. It could be a personal thing. It could be about you. You could need advice. Any of those things, and I will take your questions. So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Welcome, everybody. And we're sitting up here in Atlanta where it is a stormy, crazy stormy night, like next level rain clouds going on out there. But anywho, we're still holding it down over here, guys. Still holding it down in the ATL. So let me know what you guys are up to. Pop your questions in the chat. We're doing Ask Me Anything, which literally means ask me anything. And then we'll go from here. And then in a little while, I think I'm going to sit here and read my Bible, do my Bible time. That's what's next for me. Because, like, you guys think I'm actually going to leave the house like that? Sheesh. The weather is crazy. That's the kind of weather that you should avoid. You just stay inside altogether. So, yeah, welcome, welcome, everybody. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. I have another question. Next question comes in from TikTok. We're on Victory Life Podcast 7603. What song do I secretly sing in the shower? Ooh. I'm trying to think what's the last song that, you know what? Lately, I have not been singing in the shower. I've lately been singing at the gym. Transparently, I sing at the gym. What was the last song that I sang? Okay, so I had Mariah Carey songs that in full swing. Okay, so here's one that came on, and I was like, oh, that is such a jam. Dream lover, come rescue me. Take me up, take me down, take me anywhere I want to, baby, now. Y'all know that song? That song came on, and I was just singing. And then it was another one. It was like I was having like a Mariah Carey, like the whole thing was cycling around. And then I heard a Jermaine Dupri song come on. You can be my sweetheart. You can send a storybook on me, yeah. Won't you be my sweetheart? Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, be mine, baby. Y'all know that one? I love that song. So that song came on, and I hadn't heard that song in like forever. I can't even remember. But I'm gonna like have to put that song on replay. And I'm like, hold on, Jermaine Dupri. Like, everybody should give a shout out to ATL's best musicians. Jermaine Dupri sitting up here killing it for decades, y'all. Hit after hit. And it started like in my childhood when they had that song, jump, jump. It started in my childhood, y'all. So, it like hit me. Jermaine Dupri has a kid. He's grown up. Like he's been throwing out the hits for decades. Like, I don't know. I think he should be proud of himself. Proud of the gift that he gets from God. I think he did good. Anywho, so yeah, I honestly have not been singing in the shower at all. What I've done in the shower is just get in and get out lately. But I've been singing at the gym. And like today, I was singing while I was working. Like, if you guys could see me while I was working, you guys would have such a field day watching me work. Yeah, I was singing. I was singing. I was singing. So, do I have a favorite band? Oh, you know what else I was singing today? I was singing, what's her name? I think her name might be like Jessie Reyez or something. I'm gonna have to look for a second. I gotta check out my little list here to let you guys know. I gotta check it out. 1 second here. It's Jessie Reyez. Yeah. I was singing this song Jeans, and I was singing she's got this other song. Couldn't Be Me. You couldn't be me. It's something like that. She's got her this, that, and she's got her That song is so beautiful. I mean, I don't know if she's singing like, she's not singing anything Christian, but still a good song. The beats are good. Anywho, let's see. What's my favorite band? Do you know what was playing today that I just honestly couldn't get enough of, even though it's like not even though it's not a it's Carl Carlton. She's a bad majema. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. You guys know what I'm talking about? This song. Doom 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 doom. That song. Like, for some reason, this song's been on replay. You guys know what I'm talking about? I had this song on replay today. I feel like it's like the best Friday song ever. I mean, I know it's like old people music, but it's okay. You guys know what I'm talking about? She's a bad mama jamma, just as far as she can be. Ow! You know what I'm talking about. Anywho, yeah, that one was on replay. Favorite band was the next question. Guys, my favorite band? That's a very good question. I don't have an answer. I would be doing it injustice to try to answer because I haven't been listening to bands. I don't think I listen to a lot of bands. I mean, if there's any bands I'm listening to, it's old school R&B, like straight up old school R&B, like Jodeci, like Jodeci and like all of those, kind of boy bands, all the boy bands from like the 2000s. I would put them all in the same category of like, those are my peeps. What I want to tell you guys, it's just so funny. Yeah, I don't have a lot of boy bands though. Like, not a lot of bands. I would probably say if anything, it's the boy bands from the 2000s. We're talking like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Jodeci. If you want to go back further, like B2K and all them. Like if you want to go back further, like they had a really good performance on BET recently. I was like, now look now, guys. You guys have been out of practice for a while, but y'all are still out here killing it. I didn't see it live, but I saw like little clips of it on Instagram. Welcome, Fletcher. Welcome, welcome. So we're doing Ask Me Anything. So it's your opportunity to ask me literally anything. So it depends on what you guys have going on. You can literally ask any question in the whole wide world. I'm gonna answer it. Literally anything. You don't have to think hard about it. You can just spit it out. You don't have to clean up what you're gonna say. Just ask me anything. All right. The next question comes from TikTok. TikTok's got a question. What's my opinion on tattoos? Ooh, I have evolved on tattoos. I've evolved. Okay. Curious, are you just asking me my question in general? What do I think of tattoos? Or are you talking about from like the Christian perspective? Because I mean, that's two different questions. And I'm happy to answer both of them. But tattoos, when I was younger, I was like a huge fan of tattoos. I just, at the time when I was younger, I thought tattoos, like, I thought the bare skin just looked boring and plain. That's what I thought when I was younger. But I've evolved on that topic. So now that I'm older, I think just bare skin looks so beautiful. And I don't want like all these different like prints all over it. So that's I've evolved. Like when I was a kid, and I've got some tattoos. So you just don't see them, but I do have them. But yeah, I've evolved on it. When I was younger, I thought, oh, that's boring, like bare skin, boring. Put something on there, make it colorful. But I have evolved, and I just don't like them now. Like there are levels to it. Does that make any sense? Like you could have a tattoo visible, and then there's tattoos that are not visible, right? There's levels to it. You know, I mean, I personally don't want to be prejudged, and then there's a lot of the people that are prejudging others based on the tattoos. So you see the tattoos crawling up the arm and the neck and stuff. Sometimes people are getting prejudged for that. So, um, what I normally think, believe it or not, you guys are gonna think I'm weird. Um, when I see a bunch of tattoos on a young person, I always, there's a couple of things I always do. I have weird thoughts when I see pregnant people. Just keeping it real. I have weird thoughts when I see pregnant people, and I have weird thoughts when I see someone who's like covered in tattoos. So here are the two weird thoughts. I know you're gonna be like, "That's so strange." My weird thought when I see someone covered in a tattoo and they're young is I always in my head I imagine them as a grandma or as a mother holding a little baby or that as a grandma. I don't know why I always do that. As soon as I see somebody like in their 20s covered in tattoos, I always like I can almost start to squint with my eyes and start to think like, oh my goodness, what's it gonna be like when they're like 79 and they got all the tattoos? What's it gonna be like? It's like more of a question, or it's like when they're like 93 and like how at 93 like I don't know my grandma at 93 was like super like sassy. She would tell you anything. Like she would tell you off. She was fun. But I always wonder, like, if you've got a bunch of tattoos and you're in your 90s, like, what do the grandkids think of you? Are they automatically gonna be like, oh, she was living a lot of life? Or are they gonna be like, oh, that is so, like, 2022? You know, do you guys know? Because you understand, like, the tattoo on the lower back was really popular when I was young. Like lower back tattoos were totally cool and in style. And that whole like one on your arm that goes around was totally cool and in style. And then it's like you blink your eye, a decade passes, and they're out of style, and people are making fun of you if you have them. Like seriously, like the little one around the arm, people like are don't think that's cool now, and that was like a super cool thing to have when I was younger. And the tattoo on your lower back was like that was the it thing, and like now they tie it to promiscuity, which I think is not true, but whatever. So what do I think about it? To each their own. Tattoos to each their own. I'm not really a fan anymore. I mean, I used to be a fan, and I have multiple tattoos. Keeping it real, I got them all when I was younger, and I mean, I don't think they're in the best condition. I mean, that's the other thing. That's the thing that people don't always tell you. I mean, I think it has more to do with black skin, keeping it real, because okay, story time. So when I turned 16, during my coming of age, I'm from New Orleans, so we did things the New Orleans way. So went out with my parents. Oh gosh, this story might not be good for the internet. Did I tell you guys I'm close to my family? Okay, so there's that. So I went out with my parents, and I convinced my mom that like we should have a tattoo and that we should have the same tattoo. So my mom's a grown woman and I'm a little girl. I'm 16. And I just convinced her of it, and then she and I went off on our own and we got this like little flower tattoo. It was really innocent and sweet. I got my middle name in it. There was like a little banner in the middle of it, and I put my middle name on there. And then my mom had a little banner on hers, same exact tattoo, and she got my dad's initials on there. So obviously, mine was hidden, so no one saw it for a while. And my mom's, well, my mom is married, so my dad saw it pretty much that night. So my dad was like, "What was this?" My dad is very conservative. He's military. He's very like structured. He would never have a tattoo. Like that's not his style. And I respect that about him. I like his clean bare skin and all. You know. So my dad sees my mom's tattoo, and that was like, a couple of weeks before he finds out about mine. And he was not happy with it, although it had his initials on there. He was not happy with it. It was not his thing. And so a few weeks passed by, and it's time for me to graduate from high school. So, fun fact, I graduated from high school when I was 16, turning 17. So I was just really young. So, and you had to have your parents' permission to get a tattoo because tattoo shops were not going to tattoo someone under 18. So my mom was with me when I got it. So, so a couple of weeks later, it was time for me to graduate from high school, and I had this dress on, this cute white dress that was cut like the shoulders. It was cut where it was showing just a little bit of the shoulders. It was sleeveless, and it was cut a little bit like this in the front and a little bit like this in the back. So you could just see and the tattoo was only sticking out about this much. So I'm at like the dinner, like went to Copeland's, like one of our little favorite family restaurants back in New Orleans. It's not super fancy, but I like it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I want some Copeland's right now. So we went to Copeland's. We're eating at my graduation dinner. All's good. And my brothers start like giggling and laughing, and they're like pointing at me, and it's all this commotion's breaking out at the dinner table, and they're all laughing, giggling, and pointing. And then my dad is like, "What is all this joking? What is this?" And some kind of way between all the laughing, giggling, and pointing, they were pointing at my tattoo because my tattoo was just poking out of my dress just a little bit. So it had been my little secret up till that point. And then my dad got the laughing, and and he was like, and he looked right at my mom, and he was like, "It's your fault. It is your fault. Your fault." Oh my god! Hence the dinner was ended. It was. So my dad had already caught my mom's tattoo, and when he saw mine, he didn't blame me for it. He blamed my mom for it. Well, really, it was my fault. I'm the one who convinced her to get a tattoo. It wasn't the other way around. She just got caught before me. So yeah, that happened. And then I went off to college, and I'd get another tattoo, and I'd come home, and I'd get another little ear piercing or something, come home, and my dad would be like, "If you get another hole in your body," he was just like, "What is this? What is this phase that you're in?" So yeah, but it's all good. Like it was a phase. I went through it. I graduated out of that phase, and it's all good. So that's what's up. So welcome everybody. So yeah, that was my phase. Well, I went through the little tattoo and piercing phase. It was a couple of years long, and now I'm not into that stuff. Now, like, I mean, although a cute little button nose ring would be nice, I don't really think my nose supports it. I don't think my nose supports it. But I think that little cute nose rings are cute if you have the perfect little nose for it. I'm not sure that I have the nose for it, so I'm gonna just pass on that too. But yeah, no tattoos for me. And honestly, yeah, I'm gonna say I don't prefer my guy to have a tattoo either. I don't prefer that now that I think about it. Like, I don't really prefer it. I mean, so many people have them, and it's not like I can be like, you can have a tattoo because obviously I have them. But yeah, so I'm not gonna be like, you got a tattoo? You're don't. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I don't prefer them. Like my ex boyfriend had like a short sleeve tattoo, and then he decided to go get more, and I think we were broken up at that time. I think we were broken up, and then I heard that he was going to go get another one, and I was kind of like, don't do that, don't do it, don't do it. And he was going to get the full sleeve, and I was like, oh no, no, don't do it, don't do it. Anyways, he did it. I mean, how do I feel about it? I mean, my mom thought it looked cool. I mean, then again, my mom's a wild one, so that's where I get it from. I mean, my mom thought it looked cool, but I mean, I don't know. Like, you gotta grow old with that thing. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, it looked okay for now. I mean, it looks okay for certain environments. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't, like I said, I told him not to get it. So I can't, I can't be like, it's great because I told him not to get it. He got it anyway. It was his body. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks okay for now because, he's like, a built dude and, he's got the body build to support muscles and a tattoo all over him. So, I mean, to each their own. It's just not my thing. It's not my preference. It's not my personal preference. I'm super preppy. So, I'm like, more likely to date Carlton than to date, like, The Rock. Does that make sense? I'm more likely to date Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's who I'm more likely to date. So if you see the guy who's like coming out the gym with a big net full of tattoos, I'm least likely to date that guy. I'm not likely to date that guy at all. So that's what I would say. It's nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful people. But I mean, I don't think, if I have, oh, that's my type. No, that's not really my type. But they're good to look at. Um, let's see. Do. Someone asked, am I single? I'm still single. I mean, I don't even know how to feel about being single right now. I'm still single. I kind of feel like I was thinking to go out tonight, but then something dawned on me. I immediately felt like I was gonna get hit on tonight, and I don't know if anybody in the chat has been through this, where you're like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get hit on tonight," and I was thinking, "What's gonna be my storyline?" And I felt overwhelmed by like trying to figure out the storyline because last time somebody hit on me, I just told them the truth, and this is the truth. And it's kind of a long one, but I was like, they hit on me, and he was trying to get my phone number and try to like see me, and then I was like, can I just be honest with you? And he's like, sure. And I was like, I'm a weirdo. That was essentially my cutoff line. I was like, I'm a weirdo. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I was just like, I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. I like, honestly, I was like, on the face, I look pretty and I look like I'm good to date, but I'm such a weirdo. I'm really not compatible with anybody. Most people. I'm not compatible with most people. I'm just a real weirdo. I was like, I'm like, you know, um, and I just like diarrhea of the mouth told him. I mean, he kept asking questions. So I just was like, I was sitting outside of a restaurant. Like I went to go eat dinner by myself because why not, And then when I was like in the restaurant, he was like smiling at me and stuff, and I was like smiled, but that was it. I was trying to just be by myself and eat in peace and whatnot. But then when I left, I didn't like specifically go speak to him when I left. I just left. And then he comes out of the restaurant and then comes to talk to me. And then he just talking. And then that's when he's like trying to get my phone number, walks me to my car, blah, 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 this and that. And I was just like, I'm a weirdo. And I was like, not only am I a weirdo, I was like, I don't feel like I'm compatible with most people. And it's like, I didn't, like, I've tried to date and I tried to date. I was like, but I'm just not, I'm not compatible with most people. And I was like, I just have to, I'm at a point now where I just want to be honest about that. It's weird. I know it's like a weird thing to say or think, but like, it's just the truth. And it really is. It really is the truth. I really am not compatible with most people. And there's a difference. And I was like, this is a thing. Like, carrying on and having a good conversation is like, that's a slither of what I mean. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, how do I describe this? So, carrying on and having a conversation doesn't define compatibility and long term, capabilities. Being able to eat dinner and have a good conversation, it doesn't determine any of that. So I was explaining to him, I was like, this is like the blessing and the curse of being like a decent communicator. I was like, so this is where people will get it all wrong. I was like, so I could go on a date and I could have a good conversation because, well, I have conversations for a living. So that's not a completely like wild thought that I could go out and have a good conversation. I was like, but you have to remember, you know, I can keep the conversations on one level and never go any deeper. I can just do that. Or I can go really deeper and then get walled off from people. Like, either is possible. So I was like, most of the time, what's happening is, and this is just my own truth, like, he was asking all these questions, so I decided I'm telling him. I was like, well, I'm not going to keep up with him. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to call him. So I'm just going to tell him. I was like, so it's weird because a person that's with me may perceive like everything's going well. Like, they'll perceive like this is going good. She's definitely interested. They're getting green flags. Um, they're getting green flags just because I'm decent at communicating, but that decent at communicating doesn't reflect my heart or my heart for compatibility. And then the guy could be very attractive, and very attractive doesn't reflect my connectivity to someone. So they could be super attractive, this or that, and that doesn't reflect my connectivity. They could be super. They could be a good. Uh, they could be good with conversation. I could be good with it, but that doesn't mean that I like thinking there's a future. So I just, it's weird, but I do. Let's see. Do you guys, anybody in there working corporate? Because this will help you understand. It, does anybody know what it's like to go to like corporate dinners? This is the best way to explain it. It's very hard to explain this. If anybody's ever been to a corporate dinner, you know there's like a level to your conversation. It doesn't go into the tentacles. There's a level. If this is the scope of how much conversation you could have, like 0 to 100, if that's how much you could get into, all the little weeds, all the little dirty secrets, no one in a work setting gets into all of that, right? So if you're in a corporate setting, you talk and you're purposefully talking. Talk something charming, talk something business, talk something hopes and dreams, talk something, but talk your hobbies. But you're going to give this much. You're giving this much, you're not giving all of that. Does that make sense? So when you're having a conversation out of 100%, when you're having a conversation that's 10% deep, because you're not going to go there with coworkers, right? Then for me, that's kind of like a mental gymnastics. I can do it, but it's a different mode. It's my work brain mode. So that 10% versus the whole 100%, that's for me is work mode. So I could be on a date. I could be in that 10% conversation mode. The person is never going to get that I'm not deeply connected to them or not growing deeper in connectivity. They will never get that. But inside of my brain and body, I experience it that way. So I would experience the 10% connectivity, and my heart is yearning for full connectivity. I know that's probably gonna, somebody pop it in the chat if you get me. Like, I'm trying as much as I can to give the understanding without being a weirdo, but that's how I would describe it. I would describe it like I went to a holiday party, and like it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, the food was nice, the company was nice, blah 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 blah. And I was exactly in that mode. Like, out of 100% of what my brain can offer. That is the thing. When someone thinks so deeply, like, I've been like that since I was a kid. I was 3 years old and I thought very deeply. But I realized then I was a weirdo, and I struggled to make friends when I was a little bitty kid. But over the scope of time, I realized how to make friends was to, like, basically just really limit how much I give. Just give this little smidget, and then, like, that's the connectivity slither. And I just make the connections, and then I stay chatty, and then that's it. And then I go away, and then that's it. As an adult, I yearn for the full connectivity. And that's the only thing I can describe it as. As an adult, I yearn for the full scope. And when I'm positioned in a dating perspective where I have to give 10% of the 100, I know we're not going to make it. It doesn't matter how cute they are. It doesn't matter how rich they are. It doesn't matter whatever. When I feel stuck on a level where I give 10% and I have this full flower pot, but I can only give like one flower, but I want to exchange flower pots. Like, here, have some of my soil. Here, you plant this seed. Like, I want to exchange on that level, but I feel like what I can exchange is, here's your lily, one for you. And they're like, here's your sunflower, one for you. That's what dating feels like for me in general. And yeah, basically, if I had to be honest with you, I don't even want to go on another date till it's not like that. I just don't. I don't want to go on not one more date until I feel like we're exchanging flower pots. Whatever that means. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. If I made sense, please pop it in the chat. I actually don't even think I can explain this. I don't think I can explain it. But I'm very good at just the 10% because I've worked in corporate for my whole life. I've traveled for a whole life. I've trained people for my whole life. So I know how to operate on the slither. And that is not what my heart yearns for. My heart yearns for a full, proper, deep connection where I feel super safe to say all my weirdo things, and I feel super just heard, and appreciated and validated and valued. And I find that that is typically missing. Typically missing, typically missing. Um, and it does make me feel like a weirdo, but I know that I'm not weird for the right person, if that makes any sense. It does make me feel like continuously like a weirdo, because people are like, well, why can't we make it? Why can't we? But like, but we're so good. I've had so many people say, but we're so good for each other, but we make so much sense. I've had so many people say that, and I can't explain this to them. And I don't want to be harsh either. But for me, it's like a compatibility thing that is not in a physical space. It's not about the cute. Like, I do want someone who kind of understands my mind. Even if I don't say anything, if I'm sitting next to them quietly, I do want someone who just gets me. And it's been a really long time since I had a relationship where someone got me. Most of my relationships, when I just like look back on my relationships, I feel like I dated some cute people. But when I think about them getting me all the way into the depths of my soul, they were just getting a slither too. And that's just back when I was willing to just date, give the slither in order to receive something, little this, little that, this little small exchange. Um, I'm at a point now where I just have to move on from those little low intensity exchanges. I just have to move on from that. Honestly, I would just rather sit here by myself. I don't know what happened. I've gotten to the point where if it's not deep, if it's not flower pot for flower pot, I would rather be by myself. Like, I don't want to waste their money. I don't waste their time. I don't think we're going to get married. Does that make sense? But whoever God has for me is going to be flower pot for flower pot. And I might even get me a flower pot tattoo. That's all. So let's see if we got any other questions in the chat. Let's see. Let me see if anybody understood me or if I was rambling on and nobody got me. Y'all, give me some verbal reinforcement here. Let me know. Let me know if you can feel me. Even if you don't agree, let me know if you can feel me. Let me know if you can feel me, even if you don't really agree. Oh, I understand what she's saying, but nobody's that complicated. Let's see. Let's see if anybody agrees. Someone asked me, have I ever tried Dubai chocolate? I have not. But now, is there a way I can just order it and it just like comes flying on a plane to my house? Can I just order it even if it's like $500? Like, how much are we talking? If it's like $500, I don't think I want that chocolate. I want someone to gift me that chocolate. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. We have any other questions? Let me know. Let me know. Do we have any other questions? Pop them in the chat. Let me know. Alrighty. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up then. Join me next time when I go live. Victory Life Podcast. Bye, everybody.